Hey everybody, assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Well, we are back this evening with a real special family edition of Nothing But the Truth with
Brother Jamil.
and Sister Tisha. We are happy to join you tonight. We have some big things popping, I would say, this summer. And we want to share that with you and get you involved and in the groove. I see Brother Harold is already here. Thank you, sir, for being here, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and with bells on, ready to rock. There's Sister Amina from
Love
Boston,
her.
Massachusetts. She's on. And so there's much more that we're going to be talking about as we bring in the family, gather round the device, and talk about what's been happening. But as always, at my real pleasure and privilege, I bring to you the world's greatest and most beautiful co-host, the great Sister Tisha Muhammad.
Assalamualaikum, family. Welcome to another exciting episode of Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha. We are so glad you're here to join us again. Before we get into today's episode, we want you to please help us grow this platform. All we ask that you do is go over to our YouTube page, like, share, and subscribe. You can find us on YouTube by going to the search section on YouTube and just putting in that @ Jamil and Tisha, just like scrolling at the bottom, it'll take you straight to our page. And then from there, please go over to our Facebook page and do the same. Like, share, and subscribe. On Facebook, we're under Jamil Muhammad or Tisha Muhammad. All we ask that you do is
All right. Well, we are in place tonight. And, it's interesting. It is just us. We're informal, as you can see. We're casual. We just came in from a full day today here in the metropolis where we live. And we are taking care of business, doing all those things that we have to do each day, like everybody. And thank you, Mr. Amina. I want to take a pat myself on the back for that. It's great. We appreciate it. But thank you so much for being kind in your observation. But tonight, there is an event that we are working on, and it's starting to dawn on us that this is really happening.
it's happening.
Under the direction of the Mahdi Theater Company from Chicago, and of course, the directorial baton of our sister, Margaret Mahdi. You all know her. She's the author, the playwright, and the producer of Bronzeville, the musical.
Yes.
And all the various different other productions that she's put on based in Chicago. You've seen her at the Chicago Theater in that city on State Street, that great street downtown in Chicago. You've seen her at the Apollo Theater on 125th Street in Harlem, New York. Well, we got something coming up we're about to announce to you happening across the East River from Harlem, from Manhattan, right there in the People's Republic of Brooklyn. So get ready for that. That's going to be happening in just a moment. But while you pull up a chair, everybody feel free, go on into the comments on YouTube or on Facebook. Let us know that you're here, that you're checking us out, that you're in the attendance tonight. And we want to make sure we give proper credit where credit is due as you gather around. I heard that Brother William is finishing up some positions in his yogurt class. He insists on calling it yogurt, but
What's wrong with him? Poor brother.
we let him have his.
We'll keep him. We kind of like him.
We like him. We're going to let him hang out. But there are so many more doing so many great things from around the country. Why don't we show the flyer, and then I'll give way to the greatest interviewer, the great Sister Tisha, to ask us what's going on. And you feel free to go in the questions and comments and in the chat to ask the same. Wow, what's that? What's this event?
Not yoga. Oh, that's yoga, not yogurt.
He may know that. He may know.
This is the flyer for your upcoming event. Please take the time to share with our audience what it is that you have going on if they haven't seen already on social media. Explain the flyer, please.
I'll explain the flyer, and then maybe we need to go into the origin of it because like Sister Amina is asking, what is a one-man show? Okay. And I think I'll be able to answer that question a little bit later. But I have to say at the start of the program, I am not Lin-Manuel Miranda. I'm not John Leguizamo. I'm not Whoopi Goldberg, obviously, and I'm not Ben Vereen. But this is a theatrical presentation called Your Brother Jamil. It's a one-man show. And it actually is, as you can see on the small print there, it's a production, a dramatization of the lessons of life. learned over a period of time as a striving helper of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, raised in a certain kind of household and circumstance and surrounding. And the idea is to connect people because I believe we have a whole lot in common. And I believe we have a whole lot that we can encourage each other to do in the rise, resurrection, and redemption of our people. And so this is a way that we're doing it a little bit non-traditional, but hey, we're coming out onto the stage there at the historic Billie Holiday Theater, as you can see on the flyer there. The Billie Holiday Theater on Fulton Street in Brooklyn, New York, around the corner from the area where Christopher Wallace grew up. Christopher Wallace, to the uninitiated, is the notorious B.I.G. He's the Notorious. You just lay down slow. But we're right there in Biggs neighborhood in Brooklyn, and we'll be doing all of that. So it's just going to be a great night out on the town at the theater for people who want good quality entertainment with a message, but they don't want to be hit over the head like they're being in a preaching sermon. Mm-hmm. This is a great, great time for folks to get together and enjoy ourselves. And that's what we intend to do on the nights of August 29th and the afternoon of August the 30th in Brooklyn, New York. There are some tickets that still remain, so you can get tickets for that. We'll talk about that later on. But you asked me, what is the one-man play? That's what it is.
And so it's going to run for 2 nights. 2 nights only?
Yes, ma'am. 2 nights only. That's why seating is limited. We're in New York, and New York is, of course, the most desirable theater venue in the country. We've been joined by, and I see her coming into the chat room area, the great angel, Jamil Muhammad, who's with us tonight. Javon, we love her.
Love her.
We thank you so much, Sister Javon, for your support over all this time. She's about to weigh in, I'm sure, in the comment section because she's not going to be here without commenting. She's not going to do that.
So, Ham, let's talk a little bit about how this whole idea came about. How did it get to a one-man play about Jamil Muhammad? How did we get here?
I have to be honest, and your questions make a respondent be honest, but the idea came from the mind of Sister Margaret, a very brilliant woman, a dramatist, a playwright, an impresaria by nature and profession. Sister Margaret came up to me last year. It's been a year. At the National Training Conference in suburban Chicago. And I greeted her and we greeted each other warmly. It's good to see her. And she said, brother, I need you to do something for me. I said, what? She said, we got to build a one-man show. I said, well, with who?
Right.
She said, with you. I said, one-man show about me?
About me.
She said, yes. And I hope I didn't insult her. She says that she's not angry with me, but I laughed out loud in her face. I said, Margaret, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Why would anybody come to a theater to see me on a stage? She said, they're not really coming to see you particularly. So they're coming to hear a story about life that reaffirms their life. And they're coming to get a message that can help them make it a little bit further and be encouraged and uplifted and entertained and have an evening of enjoyment with their family in a safe environment. She said, that's what this play is about. I still did not get it. And yeah, I may have asked, the question may have come up, Sister Amina, why not you? Well, right. I'm telling you what I thought. I did not understand why that would happen. So I stayed away for a few more months. In December of last year, I had a major surgery. Sister Margaret became ill. We both recuperated, recovered, came back. And so in the late winter and early spring of this year, Sister Margaret finally tied me down. And I prayed on it and I thought about it. How can I help Minister Farrakhan to do this? What is the way that I can help my nation and do something for my people to rise? What can I do to relieve some of the burden? Wa alaikum salam, dear T. Pharaoh Muhammad, my dear brother and favorite actor. What would I do to lift some of the burden off of the National Shura Executive Council?
Yes.
They're working. Our nation, our laborers, our believers are working around the clock, and the clock is ticking toward the end of the time of the old world. And so disillusionment is high, frustration is high, anger is in the midst of the people, and the people are wandering the streets one touch away from madness and pure delirium.
Yes.
And so I thought maybe if we could speak an encouraging word, maybe if we could share a laugh or a song, maybe if we could share the fellowship of being together for good reasons and show what real arts and culture can do, what real meaning can be added to our lives and to our, not only our lives as Muslims, but our lives as human beings,
Yes.
black people in particular. And so Sister Margaret, at that time, always prepared. She comes in, and I'm telling you right now, I'm actually looking at she whips out a script. Oh, funniest, you said yes. Okay, here you go. Learn
right.
this. And so Sister Margaret is quite the taskmaster, very spiritual, very uplifting, very civilized and elegant in her presentation. But she is the steel, the iron fist in the velvet glove. That's what's happening with Sister Margaret. So I'm under rehearsal protocols now.
Help me. Yeah, he is. He's rehearsing every day.
Yes. And so the noise that you hear coming out from the man cave, is me acting.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. So when we,
is that okay?
That's ridiculous.
Okay.
So when people come to the theater on Saturday,
okay,
what are they to expect? Because first of all, there's two different levels of ticketing. Tell us about the two levels. What can we expect? There's the VIP, and there's the general.
All right. Now you're asking me a question from over in the administrative aspect, but I'm going to try to remember what's happening. Okay. The general seating, which is great because it's a very intimate theater.
Yes.
The general seating is good. There's not a bad seat in the house, but the VIP seating is in the front section. And it has, please stop me if I'm wrong, but the VIP seating had, and yes, Brother Harold, we know you need to know about the VIP seating. I know. Just give me 1 minute, brother. The VIP seating has included with it a reception. Is that right? A signed theatrical program. The playbill is program by the cast, and I'll talk more about the cast because it's a one-man show. The focus is on the one person, but the backdrop is going to drive. It's going to be totally bad, Jack. We're going to love it. So
VIP front seating, signed program, and photo op with yourself and the staff and the crew, the people in the crew.
There's a photo. So I got to get my hair. I got to have my hair.
You do. You do. There's a photo op, and then Sunday, there's like a, what do you call it? Like a little reception for closing on the closing day, but that's on Sunday.
Okay. The reception on Sunday afternoon at the closing, the finale, the matinee show. There'll be a slight gathering with refreshments, and we'll greet each other and just be together and do things in a nice way. And Brother T. Farrell says it's nice, but he's the brother who taught us all that kind of stuff. Will I be nervous? Of course, Brother Harold. Yes, I'm nervous now because there's no time at which you come in front of God's people and you don't tremble in a certain way. Brother William is in from yogurt class.
He is.
Good to see you, our brother from yogurt. But yeah, I'll be nervous, Brother Harold. Sure. I hope that you'll be there. And when I look at you off the stage, I can see some comfort in your eyes. And that way we'll make it easier to continue. But we want for you and Sister Vernita and the other VIP guests who are gathered from around the country, understand that there's a comment in here. Sister Javon says she needs 3 VIP tickets. She needs the tickets for herself. My man, okay, so that's 2. My man, that's 3. My man, that's 4. And Sister Nana, so that'll be 5 VIP tickets.
Something's wrong with her.
Yes.
But make sure she gets the tickets. Okay.
Make sure she gets the tickets. Okay. We'll do that. And so we're going to do that. We have our family from Mississippi that will be in the house. Sister Catherine, Brother David. They've all
Yes.
indicated they're coming. Sister Toy from over in Newark, New Jersey. So everybody's coming from miles around. And it's going to be like Shorty Long once sang about it on Soul Records, a subsidiary of Motown Records in Detroit. He says it's going to be a function at the junction. And baby, you better come on right now. So if there's anybody who remembers Function at the Junction, just go ahead and comment. I may be alone in this one, but nevertheless, that's what's going to be happening that night. I don't, Brother Farrell, T. Farrell, listen, Brother Tim, let's take that comment off. Okay.
I mean, that's Javon. I mean, something's wrong with him.
We're going to make sure, and something's wrong with him too, T. Farrell. But we want to make sure that everybody gets the great reception. You ask what's going to happen that night. The first thing you're going to get is a wonderfully warm greeting at the door. When you walk in off of Fulton Street into the actual lobby of the Billie Holiday Theater, you'll understand that it's located in the historic and powerful Restoration Center in Brooklyn, right? The Restoration Center is a place in Brooklyn which contains auditoriums, this theater, meeting space, some businesses. The great Moshood, the clother, is located there in that location. It's a cultural and informational center in the heart of Black Brooklyn. Understand this now. Brooklyn in New York City has it has 700,000 or more Black people. In Brooklyn alone. So we'll be in the heart of the population center of the largest population center in New York, in America, so New York City. So we're going to be there with our folks. You get that warm greeting, then you'll come up through the lobby and you'll see the art exhibit, which is fascinating. The art exhibit that's on display there now is artifacts from local New York artists who are re-envisioning and reimagining the life and work and personality and background of Brother Christopher Wallace, known as the Notorious B.I.G. So you'll see sculpture and painting and artwork and various different things from around the country that keep that space alive and filled with power, just filled with energy. Then you'll come in and the ushers, or as Brother William calls them, the urshers.
The urshers.
The urshers will seat you in your seats and you'll be comfortable until the curtain goes up. And then there'll be a lonely figure in the middle of the stage, shaking like a crap game, scared to death, but willing to go forward, because if Allah is with you, who can be against you?
Come on.
That's what you're going to see that night. And you're going to see a lot of your friends.
Yes.
Now, I can't tell everybody that's going to be there, but I heard some rumors about who's going to be out there. I heard we're going to see our Eastern Regional Student Minister, Arthur Muhammad. And the Detroit players are coming with their Pink Gators from
the Pink Gators,
representing the D, number one. But yes, Minister Arthur, Minister Henry, Brother Jacques from Queens, the Believers from number 7, the public will be there. I understand it's certain, and I'm trying to lock down the names. Ooh, I want to tell you so bad, but some of your favorite neo soul artists will be in attendance.
Yeah, this is going to be big.
Oh yeah, some female vocalists who come up from the metropolitan Baltimore, Washington area, and who may have recently been on the Tonight Show. I don't want to say no names, but they'll be in the house. There'll be other people coming from around the people. And that is, Brother Charles says 700,000, dadgum. That's how you can tell you from Texas.
Not dadgum.
Dadgum, that's a lot of chocolate. You're right, brother. But we're in the midst of our people. When we went there, Tisha, and we talked with the folks at the theater and walked around the community, Sister Margaret and I spent a whole day immersed in the Brooklyn culture, and the spirit of the people was so high. The elders were encouraging us. The young people were encouraging us. We met with folks who remembered me, and I didn't really remember them, but they said, man, we know you. You that Farrakhan brother.
Right.
That's a good way to be known.
Yes.
They shook my hand and invited me to come in their community. And so we'll be there in the Restoration Center at the historic Billie Holiday Theater on Saturday night, the 29th of August Sunday, the 30th of August. And I'm trying to tell you now so that you can get your tickets early because the tickets are already selling at a brisk clip.
They're selling fast. And right now, the tickets for the next few weeks are on an early bird special, but that will cut off at a certain time. So you want to get in so that you can get the discounted rate, if you will, the early bird special, so you can take advantage of that and
Well,
get prime.
is it true that that rate will cut off in time, or is it only a certain number of early birds, or is it both?
There's only a certain number. So if the number cuts off before the time, that's it.
Then that's
So
it.
you want to, and they're rolling fast. The tickets are moving fast. Praise be to Allah.
I heard from Brother Eric in Pittsburgh. He and his wife have their hotel reservations. They're flying in from Pittsburgh to be in attendance with us. I heard that the great and mighty Dawson family from Cincinnati, they roll as a unit, like, it's like a whole platoon, a brigade of Dawsons coming from Cincinnati to be. And of course, that's my hometown. That's where I was born physically and first heard the teachings back in 1969. And those are some of the things that we are actually looking forward to, a reunion of the people who are committed to the idea and the proposition that there's a spirit that lifts us above the mundane realities of life in any world, and certainly above the fall of this old world. Islam, when we allow that flame to burn in our hearts and when we allow the expression to become clear in our minds, then Islam can motivate us and move us safely through dangerous times, right? And so that's what we're going to be doing. I thank the person who asked the question about what we'll see, and I thank you, Tisha, for asking the question about the ticket levels. I may not be an expert in that, but I guess the idea is go ahead and get your ticket while they still have tickets. And yes, Brother James, that is the Cincinnati, the home of the Skyline Chili 5-way Cincinnati chili that delights Tisha every time she actually.
It's not right. It's not right.
Brother James, this is true. She went to Skyline Chili with me. I took her there, literally to the restaurant where they.
And this time, I didn't ask for any of his food off his plate.
And the lady said she's never had Skyline Chili. She's never had Cincinnati chili. And so Tisha said, no, I have. Right. And the lady said, well, here, let me bring you a sample. So she brought the sample and left it on the table. Sister Tisha took a little spoon and dipped it. The sample's already small. She took the tip of the spoon and dipped it in there and tasted it. She said, oh. Then she told the waitress, I'll have a salad.
She said, and she was offended too. So you didn't like it? I said, it's just not for me. You didn't even like the crackers? I was like, no, and then people were in the restaurant just chowing down. I was like,
that's when you take somebody from Texas to Cincinnati. They're just not used. They're not ready for real chili. And I understand that. They're not ready for the real chili, Yeah, she stayed off my plate that one time.
Didn't beg. Tried to give him my plate, actually.
Anyway, but the folks will be coming in from all over the country. That's my point. We've heard confirmations from believers in Philadelphia. A lot of Philadelphia Muslims will be there. And all of these places figure prominently in the dialogue narrative of the actual play, the presentation. So it's going to be a big night. We tell the stories, the early years in Islam. We tell the stories of the early building years. We tell the stories of how did you even get black in your household? What happened? Did your parents make you black? And that's it. So, and Brother William is now confirming for himself and Sister Willetta. And
they're coming.
They're coming in from Oakland. So we know, but I have to stress this now. I don't want anybody to get mad at me if the tickets run out. Don't get mad. There's only 2 performances, and each performance has a limited amount of seats because we can't afford to be in New York for a 3-week run. We just can't do it. Okay.
And who's to say if you might be starting something, you and Sister Margaret, this could go big. I wanted you to touch on a little bit or explain to us a little bit what we can expect to see. Are we just learning about Jamil Muhammad, the man, or his work, his walks? What can we expect to find out? Is this a serious show? Is it a comedy? Is it
It's like life.
Historical, or is it all of it?
It's like life. It contains
It's life.
elements of all of that. But I don't think that anyone, and again, transparency being served here and honesty, I don't think anybody would come to see a play about Jamil Muhammad. And the reason for that is not because I'm a bad guy, but what I'm saying is that the marketplace of ideas is glutted with people think that they should be heard and seen. Everybody's got a book. Everybody's got an urban novel. Everybody's got their own life story, and people don't even know you alive. So your life story is a hard sell. I don't think that. I have been of the class of men and women who have given our lives to serve in the cause of Allah and to help the directional light on the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I don't regret that for 1 second, 1 iota of a second, because it is that which has given me my comfort of soul and my legitimacy as a person. So when I come to the stage that night, the stories that we tell have a thread woven throughout the entire fabric of the play. What is that thread? That is that you can make it.
Yes.
Be redeemed. You can be saved. And there's a way out of darkness. And that way out of darkness is called Islam. But we're not going to push it down your throat now. No. I remember back in the old days, I think Brother James from Dallas, you know what I'm about to say. But back in the days, we learned that when you are presenting a menu to a client in a restaurant, a customer in a restaurant, you're not just selling steak. You're selling the sizzle. You sell an experience. So yes, there are facts that I've learned over my life, but what was the circumstances like? Will I have the honest nerve to tell the truth and point the finger, even if it's at myself? Come out to the Billie Holiday Theater and see, because I have to be honest about this. I'm too old to be playing games.
Yes.
Can't do that. And the total experience. Now, I don't know if that's now, tell Willie Green to meet me at the total experience in 1 hour. That sounds like Dolomite, but I know you would never quote Dolomite on nothing but Jamil and Sister Tisha. I know you wouldn't do
Cornbread
that.
will. He will.
Okay, anyway, go ahead, honey. You had another question?
No, I was just going to say we're approaching the bottom of the hour. When we come back from commercial, if we could, can we get into a little bit of history about Jamil Muhammad himself? Little photos. Would you mind sharing with our audience?
Photos, you do, huh?
I'll show you what I have. Do you mind?
Let's go to commercial.
Okay, guys, hang in here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We're just going to do the bottom of the hour commercial break, and then we'll get more into who this guy right here is. Yeah. Okay. Be right back. Hold on. Hold on. Assalamu alaikum, family.
Assalamu alaikum.
What are we saying? What are we doing? Woo! Assalamu alaikum, family. Assalamu alaikum, family.
Assalamu alaikum.
We want to thank you for taking the time to tune into Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil
and Sister Tisha. We thank you for every Thursday night joining us for appointment viewing. 8 p.m. Not 8 a.m.
Yeah, I'm going to come in on the p.m.
Yeah, 8 p.m. Thursday nights by YouTube, by Facebook, by Instagram, by all the other means by which we can be seen. But we thank you, because without you, as a matter of fact, here the Manhattans, there's no me without you.
We always do that. Assalamu alaikum.
There's no me.
You didn't say assalamu alaikum. You didn't say assalamu alaikum.
Oh, assalamu alaikum. Tisha, I just want to say, there's no me without you.
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah, yeah. I
Thank you,
saw,
babe.
well, your
Listen.
camera yeah, the camera stayed directly on you. I saw it.
Oh, my
Yeah,
bad.
I saw the whole thing.
Thank you, family. We're back. Sister Catherine has posted a comment, actually. She says, "This man is a treasure trove of history of our nation, of the history of our nation, his continuous walk with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the rebuilding of this nation."
Oh, praise is due to Allah. I appreciate that, sister, but I see so many of the believers
Yes.
as being just what you described. My wife often says that at every time we go, whether it's a mosque meeting on a Sunday in Little Rock or St. Louis or Washington or Baltimore, anywhere we might be, she said, I noticed something about you, honey. And whenever you get around the believers, you light up and you fill up
Hmm.
with energy. It's because y'all got that Islam.
Hmm.
That's what makes me live. That's what gives me life. And the power that you see is not originating from me, it's a reflection coming off of me. I'm reflecting the power. The power belongs to Allah. And if we have a treasure trove of history, we're looking at it right now. Imagine the weight. I mentioned something at the top of the program about taking some of the weight off the shoulders of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the National Shura Council.
Yes.
I want you all to just observe with me for 1 minute. The last week in the work and life of Brother Student Minister Ishmael Muhammad, he has had to do at least 2 weddings, a janazah, a Sunday lecture in Indianapolis, traveling back and forth up and down the roads, not only of the Midwest, but he was in New York a few short weeks ago. Before that, he was in Atlanta, Miami. He's all over the nation. That man is working around the clock for us. What can we do to lessen some of the burden that may be on his shoulders by creating a spirit of cooperation, creating a spirit of possibility and energy and drive
Yes.
to us from the heart of the nation? See, Chicago is the head of the nation. There's no doubt about it. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that New York is the heart of the nation.
Come on.
The head and the heart are aligned, just like in a marriage. If the husband's the head of the household, okay. But the woman, the wife, she's the heart of the household. And when that head and that heart are working together with mutual respect, cooperation, and the proper division of labor between the two, then the whole body is refreshed. What I'm saying to you is that we are hoping to make this small contribution toward relieving some of the burden that's on our brothers and sisters at headquarters as they struggle to help the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan too. Why wouldn't we help our minister? Why wouldn't we get behind him? Why wouldn't we do the things that need to be done for the cause of Islam? Yes.
I hope so too, Brother Charles. I hope this show blows up because we want to use our time, our space, our airways to share our Islam, to share our joy, to share the positivity of marriage, of life, all of that. So praise be to Allah. I hope we blow up too. And we want to create a space that as believers, we can stretch out and share how Allah has blessed each and every one of us. So that's beautiful. If you don't mind, I want to take it back just a little bit where you started in the nation. Well, you tell us, what is this a picture of?
Oh man, that's my dad's photo album. You really hitting below.
Who is that?
Okay. All
because
right.
he has a part like way back then. What is going on?
This is from the 1978 yearbook. The Bison is the name of it at Howard University. My dad, this is from his photo album. If I'm not yet, there it is. His name is in the upper left-hand corner of the frame that you see. It says Leonard C. Ball, Washington, D.C. in January of 1982. And he lists my birth name there, James Carson Ball. And he says, "My son." And boy, am I proud to be his son. That's my daddy, the great
Yes.
ball, Sweet Roll, they call him in the street in Cincinnati.
Not Sweet Roll.
Sweet Roll was his name. But my dad stored this picture. I love
Mm-hmm.
writing there. He wrote was that beautiful penmanship, class of 1945, Woodward High School, Cincinnati, Ohio. And he wrote beautifully. And he had a picture of me there in my FY pen and my bow tie
Yes.
and they asked me, "Do you want to smile for the photo?" And I said, "No, I'm smiling at nothing. What's funny in the fall of America?"
Oh, wow.
I was a militant young fella there at Howard University as a sophomore. That's my photo in the yearbook.
So you've been having this part since way back, since
So
college.
really, you want to ask about the part?
I'm just saying I'm amazed. I mean,
okay.
because
We had the part. We left high school with an afro, but by the time we got to Howard, we had cut down. We had the Muslim cut with the square points and the C cups on the side. Burns and that was my starter kit mustache.
Were you new in the nation in this picture?
I had come to the mosque in 1969
Mm-hmm.
and accepted Islam, but the nation, of course, went through a transition in 1975. This
Okay.
photograph was taken a few weeks, I would say, maybe a couple months after I first saw the minister in person on the date of September 27th, 1978 in Crampton Auditorium at Howard
Okay.
University. And I said I was going to walk with him, and that's what you see there, the beginning of that walk with the you went and got some pictures, didn't you, honey? All right, bless your heart. This picture is about 10 years after the first one. This is in maybe 1988 or 89. This is at Mosque number 4 in Washington, D.C. The minister had just finished teaching a lecture downstairs and had sweated, and he was cold up in the ministry office. And that sweater belonged to Minister Abdul Alim Muhammad. And he called me over to greet him, and somebody took a picture, and he was giving me the clemenza, the face
Yes.
pat. My paisan, my friend, my brother. and he was giving me love. And I love that picture because we both looking at each other like, you somebody important to me. And I just love that the minister showed love to me, and he had such kind patience and warmth with us as believers. These are interesting photos you have here. Yeah. Oh, that's mama right there. Y'all met Sweet Roll. That's my daddy. But this is May. This is May. This is my mama, Marion Brown Ball. And May was a character now in Cincinnati. If you knew people from that area, 9th John Street, 9th Street, Bay Miller Street, Central Parkway, back downtown in Cincinnati, she was the kind of a person that you could joke with her, but she would also give you a knuckle sandwich if you got
okay.
And she's a little bitty. Yeah, everybody know Miss May, Mother Muhammad. That's the same one. Yes. And that's my mama. That's her.
We were talking about Miss May.
That's her. I know she pretty, boy. Thank you for these photos. These are pretty good. These are what happened now? I told him.
You told him that if you told him the number, it would be wrong in 30 minutes because we were being raised by the tens of thousands.
Oh, you're talking about the interview with Keith Kate on NBC in, gosh, that had to be 1994, maybe?
It must be this one. She said there's an interview circulating of you and some Caucasian where he asked you the membership numbers of the nation. You snapped. What year was this and what event were you promoting? It looks like circa 90.
Yeah, 1994. We weren't promoting a particular event, possibly the beginnings of the Million Man March. But by that time in 1994 in Baltimore, we had gained a measure of influence in the Black community. And of course, our dear brother, Imam Abdul Salam Muhammad, has built on it and expanded it exponentially. But at that point, we were somewhat of a curiosity because they had never seen this kind of buzzing activity, even in the time of the first resurrection, as they call it. Minister Isaiah Kareem and Minister Louis Omar, great ministers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but we were doing some things in a public way and we in the media. So they invited us there on a talk show. to talk about the Nation of Islam and who are these mysterious Negroes. And he tried to be, he tried to get slick with it. And you can't let them folks get slick. You got to check them as soon as they come out their mouth sideways. You got to twist it around there. Twist it around, Pete. Whatever. Twist it around, Jody, Buff, whatever your name is.
Not Buff.
Twist it around, Biff, and get it together, because he was that kind of a fella. His name was Keith Cate. Later became anchor man up in Tampa, Florida. But at that time was on WMAR, the NBC affiliate in Baltimore. And I remember he asked me about, what's your membership? What's your budget? And I didn't like that. And so that's why I said what I said. And if I was offensive to any of you in our audience tonight, please pardon me. But I felt like it needed to be checked in a very decisive way. And that's what that was.
What's your budget? Oh, okay.
No, we're not.
So what's your budget? Okay. Now, what is this? I thought this was pretty cool. Let me put this.
Oh.
It's handwritten. What is that?
That is a letter. How do you? Okay, so you.
I was prowling.
Apparently, you have the family photo albums. Is that it?
I mean,
okay, very good.
You left it.
Okay. I pray for those that thou hast given me. Protect them by the power of thy name, that they may be one as we are one. I pray thee not to take them out of the world, but to keep them from evil. From John 17:9, and also verses 12 and 15. My dad wrote that. I got to find the original. But my dad was not a religious man. He didn't go to church every Sunday, but he was a deeply faithful and spiritual man. And he believed that God is behind and is the force moving our people toward freedom. So in his FBI Freedom of Information Act files that were released in 2014, which we found them through the research of some students at NYU, along with my brother, Dr. Jared Ball. And we've in the first 62 pages, the rest of them have been released yet. But my father was considered a black radical in Cincinnati. He was the founder of the Cincinnati, co-founder of the Cincinnati chapter of SNCC, which he served as the chairman of. He was also the chairman before that of the Cincinnati chapter of CORE, the Congress on Racial Equality. Well connected in the streets of the city, and well known as a person who didn't go along with the. My father was a hell of a guy. Put it like
Sweet Road.
Sweet Road was a hell of a man, and so he gave that to us, and he told us, my sister, and then later on my two younger brothers, Harold and Jared, we fought, and that's what we did. And so we always knew we were going to do something. But in the FBI files, it was very interesting that even because my name was in there when I was 5 years old, the FBI writing down my name. He got a son, and his son. I mean, come on, man. What was I going to do at 5 years old? Man?
That little guy right there with the picket sign. Picket sign and a bow tie. The FBI was on top of it. They knew we were somebody. But I had the Fruit of Islam starter kit there. Yes, you did.
But that was a demonstration for economic justice in the city, where my father was saying, basically, if you can build your city with our hands, then you can keep it built with our minds, our leadership. And so my father was moving to do some things. And Brother Leroy points out he's heard many powerful things about my father from our dear brother. We just lost our brother Quadir, Thomas 37X in Philadelphia. And he was a real stand-up guy. And my father and all the people that Quadir knew, Brother Leroy, and all the people down at District Council 33, all, Earl Stout and Al Johnson and all the whole crew there in Philly, those were my father's compadres. And so you see, we were stand-up guys. That was the way it was supposed to be. And we don't take no tea for the fever. So those are some of the images. That's the background from which we come. But my mother, as a staunch black woman, a proud black woman, my grandfather, her father, Willie William Brown Sr., William Randall Brown Sr., Willie Brown, they call it. Willie Brown come up from out of Liberty, Mississippi, after an unfortunate accident at the cotton gin mill one day where there was a dispute about the money. And the white man seemed to have different figures than my grandfather, and my Uncle Lazarus was standing there next to him. And yes, my uncle's name is Lazarus.
I wasn't going to say nothing, but I did hear that.
But they were standing there, and at the end of the discussion, somehow the Caucasian gentleman was lying on the ground bleeding from a projectile wound that came from some random firearm somewhere. I don't know how. So my grandfather and my Uncle Lazarus left Liberty, Mississippi that day, made their way to Yazoo City, Mississippi, then over to Memphis and up to Chicago, where they became Pullman car porters on the train. Yeah, he slipped and fell. Thank you, Brother James. That's really what happened.
Got to be more careful.
And they moved around the Midwest with card games and pool games and dice games because they had some skill in those matters. And so they made extra money. But the family moved from Chicago to Detroit, to St. Louis, and then they settled over in Cincinnati, where I was born. And that's where that's how we got up north on my mama's side. Yes, Brother Leroy, it's time to go. I don't know what happened, Brother Harold. I don't know what happened.
Brother Harold, he fell.
You saw the man slipped and fell, obviously. And so
he had indigestion or something. I don't know.
He needed to get some Tums, and he'd have been all right. But the point is that my family is unreconstructed, unapologetically, clearly and obviously Black folks. And on no side of my family did I ever get the idea that we would compromise with the enemies or the devils. And so my father, when he met with Minister Farrakhan about me, with me sitting at the table, and they talking about me, guess what I said? Nothing.
Shh, be quiet. Yeah.
Grown men talking. I had nothing to say. I was 31 years old, sitting at the table, and the minister and my dad just talking back and forth. My father asked the minister as we were leaving that night, he said, "Brother Minister, would you do me a favor?" And Brother Minister looked over at me. He said, "Sure, Brother Leonard, if I can do it, I'll do it for you." He said, "If anything happens to me, I want you to look out for my son." And the minister said, "Oh, Brother Leonard." And he said, "Brother Leonard, I don't think anything's going to happen, but sure, I would look out for him." Yeah. And 6 months later, my father passed from a sudden aneurysm. And the beautiful thing about this man you're looking at on the screen, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, is that man to this day checks on me, and he tells me that the reason why he's doing it is because he gave his word to my father.
Praise be to Allah.
Out of the blue. Or when I see him at an event, come here. And he'll hold my hands and look at me. "You know, I told your dad I would check on you. I would look out for you." He's an honorable man, a decent man, a moral man, a principled man, a righteous man. And that's why it's my pleasure and honor to bear witness to him in whatever format. If it's a theatrical format, let's do it. If it's some kind of public format, let's do it. If it's a private conversation, let's do it. Whatever needs to be done to bear witness that there is no God but Allah, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise is due forever, and that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is his risen Christ, an apostle and messenger to us, and that he put us in the line of divine of all of the prophets, Abraham and Musa and Isa and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that Farrakhan is the one man living the lives and mastering the examples of all the prophets today. If you about that, then I'm about you. I remember one of my mentors, the great minister Jeremiah Shabazz. You know him, Brother Leroy. Minister Jeremiah said to me one time, he said, "Brother, if it doesn't have anything to do with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, then I don't want anything to do with it." I love that spirit. I love when Minister Abdul Kareem Muhammad from Plainfield, New Jersey told me, he said, "Brother, we ain't begging, we buying, huh?" Yes. I love it when my mentors, like Brother Minister Abdul Akbar Muhammad, would say to us, brother, in the Nation of Islam, we don't have problems, brother. We have situations. Now, what's the situation?
What's the situation?
What's the situation?
I'm going
I
to use
love
that.
it when my mentors, like my dear big brother Askia Muhammad, the great
Yes.
journalist and editor of the Muhammad Speaks newspaper, when he would come to us and say, brother, learn the truth and then get to the heart of it and don't be afraid to speak it. That's the kind and caliber of men and women like, of course, Sister Captain Portia Pacha.
Yes.
Captain, yes, Huday Sharif on the West Coast. These great soldiers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We must never let their names die. We must lift up their names, and that's what this production is about. If you want to leave that theater feeling good about yourself as a Muslim, come on. If you want to leave that theater feeling good about yourself as a black man, black woman, or a black child, come on to the theater. I want to be able to see a little black child's chubby little face and put my hands on the face and tell them, you know God love you, don't you? I want to see them look back up at me and tell me, you mean I'm not a YN? I'm not some Negro? I'm not some woman to be called? I'm a no, baby, you God's favorite. That's who you are. If you want that, then you come on to the Billie Holiday Theater. But if you want some other stuff, you have to get that somewhere else. Ain't nobody in there having no funny storylines and some agenda to have people Teletubbies and all. And we ain't doing none of that. We come in to do the right things in the right way. You're right, Brother Leroy. Shout their names from the mountaintops. That's right. And so great unheralded soldiers. We had a brother in Philadelphia named James 89X. Lieutenant James 89, he was a paper lieutenant, moving the Muhammad Speaks newspaper. James 89 may not be known in all the other history books, but if you were inspired to keep pushing the program of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad by a man like him in your city, then we want to talk about it. If you were inspired by somebody like Brother Wilbur E.X. Berry, the brother who to the mosque the first time I ever came there in the early summer of 1969 and stood up and accepted Islam from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's minister David Bacha at Temple Number 5 in Cincinnati. If you got stories like that, we want to hear your stories, but we want you to be able to tell your stories. So when Sister Margaret came to me and said, we want you to do something.
Yes.
Connect the people and put their spirits and bind them up in love. This world is hateful and cold and dry. But in the Billie Holiday Theater that night, you're going to be sitting next to somebody that is your brother and sister. Even if you never met them before, you already know them. That night in the Billie Holiday Theater, you're going to be experiencing something through the visuals, through the dialogue, through the music, through the images, through the lighting, through the theatrical experience. Yes, you're going to know that we are brothers and sisters.
Praise be to
Allah. One in the cause of Islam, and that we'll never stop. They can say what they want to say about us. You, Nation of Islam, you ain't this and you ain't that. Hush.
Right.
Because none of the people that you love more than you love your own black self, and you hate us for being in a bow tie or a headpiece or carrying a paper or a bean pie. You mad at us. You don't like us no more. But all the people that you love better than us never came 1 foot toward you in the direction to pull you up out the gutter and make you a better man or a woman, make you be a better mother, or father, or a son, or a daughter, or a neighbor, or a friend. That was the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And his national spokesman is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. His national representative is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. That's his minister, the valedictorian in his ministry class. You know, we don't preach here on nothing but the truth. We don't do none of that. But I want to just make sure you know, but when you come in that theater, what are we working on? We're working on something to get close to you and talk to you and make you feel a spirit of kinship and possibility and remove the limits from our thinking and let us know that whatever we can conceive, if we believe, then we can achieve. But we got to get out and do that. And that's what this production is about. It's called Your Brother Jamil. It's a one-man play, but it's not a one-man operation. There is a cast. There is an administrative staff. There is the director, Sister Margaret Mahdi. And Sister Margaret is, and I didn't see that other picture on the flyer behind the current me.
Yes.
As the Afro me. Okay, I thought there was Foster Silvers. I didn't know. Okay, but that's what we're doing. We talking about life and family and people. We come from somewhere. I got to mention my little sister. She's departed now. May Allah be pleased with her. But the great Captain Sharifa Muhammad.
Yes.
Great soldier. And we were brought up. We didn't even think nothing about it. We knew that we had to do something for Black people. Oh, no, we knew that we had to do something for Black people, but we came in the direction of the Nation of Islam and don't regret it one bit. Not one. Not now. Not one.
Not now.
Not now.
That's the number before zero. Now.
Thank you. It's mathematics. That is correct.
Yeah, not now. Well, family, we're quickly approaching the end of the hour. Goes so fast.
Oh, wow.
Please, please, when we end the stream, please go over to our Facebook page and click on the Eventbrite link, and it will take you straight to the page where you're able to purchase your tickets.
Okay. Are there any more of the early bird ones left? Are there?
Yeah, there are a few early birds left for both shows. More Sunday shows left than Saturday because everybody's trying to get in on the first streaming, of course.
Well, now the people at the box office, I know we're on the air, but they said that they'll, like you said, the Saturday show is selling faster, but once they reach the number limit, they won't have any more early birds.
There won't be any more early birds. That's right.
Okay, y'all do something right now because I don't want nobody arguing with me and fussing at me now.
Before we go, I wanted to put this on here real quick. If we could all just send up a prayer of quick healing. Brother Charles had noted that he just got off the phone with one of the brothers in the nation here in Dallas who had a bad car accident, but he's doing terrific now. And I just thought I'd give you all the good news. Praise be to Allah.
We keep our prayers together.
Keep him in our prayers. Praise be to Allah. Thank you for sharing, Brother Charles. All right, family. So we'll show the flyer one more time, but don't forget you can see everything on our Facebook page. You can go to Tisha Muhammad. You can go to Jamil Muhammad. You can also go to YouTube to see previous episodes. Please tell a friend about our platform because we are trying to grow these numbers and get out there further, on that algorithm so we can share this with more and more people. Okay?
Lastly, for Brother in Dallas and Sister Javon, call tonight. You had specific requests. Brother William in Oakland and Brother Harold, you had those special requests. Please give us a call. We'll try to walk you through the process as much as we can. And yes, ma'am, you too, Sister Catherine. But we try to walk you through so you can get done what you need to get done. But we want to take our hands off the ticket thing. I got this whole script. I got to do it.
Yes,
and I need, so please. Thank you for being with us tonight. Tisha, you so beautiful, honey. Let's get us a cup of coffee. Let's put our feet on the coffee table and have some.
Are you still going to do the dishes for me? Because I was tied up and you said that you were going to do dishes. I'm just putting it out here so everybody know you said you were doing the dishes tonight.
I can't hear the microphone.
Whatever. Assalamu alaikum, family.
Love y'all. Assalamu alaikum.